So, friends, with this, we'll start with our next topic. Our next speaker is Dr. Abhilasha Vyas. So, let me invite Dr. Abhilasha Vyas on the stage. And yes, hello, Abhilasha.
Hi, Krunal. How are you?
I'm doing great, Abhilasha. So, the stage is all yours. I'm just going to make you
I'm
live.
just sharing my
And
screen and I just need confirmation from your side.
yes, I think your screen is okay. No, I think you need to share your screen.
Yeah, I'm just sharing it right now. Yeah, I've just shared it. Just confirm me. Taking it on the stage. Yeah,
It's visible, yeah. Yeah, the stage is all yours, yeah.
yeah. Thank you. Thank you, Krunal. Thank you, everyone, for joining on Saturday morning and be part of this India MCT marathon. So, today my topic is a little interesting because I work in the security domain. So let me just make it in the slideshow mode. I have less slides and I have much to show you, uh, the demo part and all. Yeah. Okay, so 11 hours, one community and infinite learning. Uh, as Krunal mentioned, my name itself. So I'm working with Pure ID and I work as a director learning and innovation. And I love contributing in the communities, whatever I know, all the Microsoft services from the security stack specifically. I keep sharing with communities, and I have couple of shows also which are hosted from my side. And I'm doing all these activities since 2021. So that's a little about me. If you want to connect with me on LinkedIn, feel free to share that. You can find me on LinkedIn easily. So, this is a session at a glance which I wanted to show you. So, the topic is managing privileged identities in the cloud era. And we will be going to discuss because I'm sure that we have a mixed audience. The a few I think you are introducing with this topic first time. So, I thought of making it in this way where first we will be understanding about the introduction of the topic, like what is privilege identity is all about. Then we will be understanding more about the challenges which we have related to the roles which we are assigning to the users. Then we will see the demo and I will be sharing couple of resources also with you. So let's come back to the slide. So when I say that we are going to manage the privilege identities in the cloud era, so what exactly we are going to learn over here is that when we have n number of users working in the cloud era, that time we have to have a tighter control on the permissions and the role which we are giving to the users. How we can control access which we are giving to the users. You can say that we can simply create the role and we can assign that, absolutely fine. But certain roles are having critical access, certain roles are having sensitive data, access to the sensitive data. So in that case we have to have the role which is just in time and which is going to be time bound. So those kind of controls we need to reduce the attack surface. So in that case we want to strengthen this, and that's how this privilege identities come into the picture, where we are going to controlling that when we are giving access for up to certain period we are giving the access, and who can approve this access, because that is also important in the environment, that who is going to access it and who is going to approve it. So those things are basically we are going to learn today, that how user will be able to see that the role is assigned and I can activate this role, and how the admin is going to do that. So how this entire privilege identities are managed on the Microsoft Intra ID platform, that we will be learning. At the end of the session, I hope that you all will be able to understand what is just in time, what is the use of controlled privilege access with intra privilege identity management, and also you will understand that what is the important of access reviews, what is the important of multi-factor authentication, and also the important part which is zero trust, which is basically working on the principle verify each and every signal which is coming and assume that there is a breach. So that is we are going to understand in this entire session, and I hope you all will enjoy with the theory session and with the demo as well. So keeping the time also in my mind, it's 11:34. We have around 25 minutes to understand the entire thing. Any questions you have, you can post it over here. I will connect with you, or you can connect with me on the LinkedIn as well. So let's start our journey of learning privilege identities in the cloud era using Intra ID. Okay, so let's first quickly understand that what exactly is the privilege problem, and how this kind of access, if it not in the safe hand, what kind of explosion can come and what kind of issues can come in the cloud environment. So nowadays we all are working in the cloud environment. In the morning when you start your day, you start with cloud, you check your emails. If you want to order some food, don't want to cook, again you need the help of the cloud. You want to book a cab, you need a cloud. So at every stage nowadays we need applications which are hosted in such a way you can access it from anywhere and you can use it anywhere. So the privilege problem comes into the picture, because nowadays the credential hacks are happening, and we have attackers 24 cross 7 365 days are looking for loopholes to break into the credential era, break the identity, and get the access of the users and the data which they have access to. So the privilege problem, if the user in the environment have assigned the roles which have the access which is given uh, to the more than the role which they are needing. Let's say for example user A is only for the audit purpose, so that user should be only have access to read the logs, not more than that. But if we have designed a role and we have given security admin role to that auditor, we are giving a access which is not needed by the specified role. So in that case, if that credential is breached, the attacker will be able to access the entire security infrastructure of the organization. So we are increasing the attack surface, and what we want to do is this privilege access is given to the user, and that can create issues, and that's how we want to control that what all access we are giving and we are managing it. Let me show you first what exactly it is meaning. This is a portal where we play entire day all the services, and these are all the services which are available. We can talk about all these services in detail, and it will take I think months and years to have expertise on all these services. So if we talk about identity, specifically for managing identity itself, we have all these services which are available. So identity is important because I say and I always believe that it is a low hanging fruit. They do not need a big bombs to blast on the infrastructure. They simply just need to take the credential which are available on the cell as well on the dark web, or which can be captured using some kind of phishing tricks, social engineering tricks, bypassing. So this is a low hanging fruit for the attackers, plus a major front door access for any kind of access which we need for resources. So you see all the services which are coming over here. Out of that, in today's session we will be talking about intra privilege management. You can understand that how it is important for the entire infrastructure when we want to give access to the users for just in time, the time which is needed by the user to have that role to work on a specific resources or the data, and then it will be automatically revoked. Because again, we can't sit on the system manually and manage the access which we are giving to the users. Everything should be in such a way that the multiple users can be managed and multiple roles and the permissions can be managed in just in time. So, two terms which are important over here to note: just in time and just enough access. So, just enough access means the user, we are designing a role in such a way that user will be able to do designated task, not more than that, not less than that. Plus, whenever user is requiring access, that time only that access should be active and user will be able to work on that. So that's where we are going to work on Microsoft intra privilege identity management in today's session. Let me take you back to the slides. Not many, but yeah. So up to this point, we also have to give a little thought on what is the difference between traditional and the modern access. Earlier, we were having a castle kind of a structure where we have only one lock, and the users will be able to get access to all the resources which are available in the castle. Nowadays, we have multiple layers of security because users are working from any device and user are accessing it from anywhere. When we say any device, it's a device which is not following this hygiene, also cyber hygiene. Anywhere, the location can be anywhere. So all these kind of accesses are given because multiple applications, multiple APIs, multiple data sources, and multiple cloud environments. So that's why it is important to have such feature which will help us in controlling what kind of access we are giving to the users. So that's the brief about the topic which I'm going to cover today. And now let's understand all these pointers from the demo itself. So let's move to the demo now completely. We will shift our focus on the demo. So first, let me show you the roles which are available, and then we will come back to the intra ID. So if you see what all things we can manage users, groups, all these things we can manage with intra ID. This is nothing but the identity and access management. It's more than that, but you can understand this with that. If you are aware about Azure Active Directory, it's a new name which is given to Azure Active Directory, that is intra ID. We can manage user groups, roles, security, custom domains, all these things we can manage with the help of intra ID. And when we talk about the users and the roles, these are the two important aspects. So let me take you to the role. So you see, whenever we want to assign certain permissions to the user, let me show you that what role is all about. Let me open this application administrator. You see what we can manage for this role is we can manage the assignments. What is the description of the role? Because when you want to assign this role to any user, you should be knowing that what all capabilities this role is having and coming with, which I can assign to the user. And if you want to change any role settings, you can do this with the help of edit section. Let me show you the permissions which this particular role is having. So you can see that description is also given, plus the important part which I want you all to see is the permissions which are coming with this specific role. What we can do with this role is, if it is assigned, you can read and configure Azure Health Service. You can create application policies. You can delete application policies. So all these activities which are related to application, you can perform using this role. So you can see the kind of permissions we are associating with every role. It makes it important to manage and control what all things we are assigning to the user. And I can edit this role settings also. We'll come back to this section. But I hope the role part is clear to you all, that what all things we have in the role. Now the question is, who is giving these roles to us? So these roles are giving to us from the cloud platform, Microsoft Cloud, plus we also have a flexibility to create the custom roles as well. Now let me take you to the PIM again. So with the privilege identity management, what we can do, the first part is we can manage access. So in that as we discussed from the start of the session itself, that we want to reduce the attack surface. We want to give access to the user which is needed. So that's what we want to manage and assure. So PIM is helping us in managing the access, where the access can be controlled and can be managed in terms of not disturbing the productivity of the user. Then we can also have activating just in time. So as we discussed, the time period which we need, for that time period only, the role will be activated. So this is going to again reduce the potential lateral movement in the entire environment. And then we can discover and monitor the critical issues also, and we can also monitor the audit history and the other access which is given to the users. So all these things we can manage with the privilege access. What all tasks we can do from here is, I can see what all roles are assigned to me. So I have joined as an admin. So what are the active assignments which are given to my specific account is global admin, which is the super privilege role which is given to me. So I can also see the permissions which are associated with that, but I'm sure that you all have understanding of these roles. Not, you can go to MS Learn and you can look for, you can go and check built-in roles, the privilege roles, and then you can understand all these details. So you can go and understand all these options from this resource, which is a MS Learn, beautifully designed with all these details. Now, if you see over here, I have 3 tabs on this screen. The first is eligible assignment. What is the meaning of eligible assignment is that I am eligible for this specific role. So right now there is no role which is assigned to me for which I am eligible. So I will be taking one user and then based on that I will be explaining it. So for this demo purpose, I have already logged in as a EDEL. This EDEL is a user in my TNet. And let me show you the role and permission which EDEL is having. Let me see the roles which are assigned to EDEL. So right now there is no active role, but EDEL is eligible. I think I have assigned it. Yes. So EDEL is eligible for a role that is application admin. And now I can basically request for the activation. So we will see that process, how that is happening. So I'm eligible for doing this task, but I need activation for this particular role. So that's the eligible, that I'm eligible. Active, this is right now active. I'm working as a global admin. And if I have assigned any kind of role which is expired now, that will be coming over here. So these are the 3 tabs which are coming. I can assign the roles to users, intra roles. I can assign to the groups also, and I can assign the Azure roles also to the resources. In today's demo, we will be talking about intra roles only and to a user seeing the time. All the requests for the activation will come over here. These are the requests which I have initiated as a user, and these are the requests which are coming from the various users. Because see, in the environment, I can be a manager of a project and I can be working as a member of other project also. So sometimes I will work as a approver, sometime I will work as a requester also. So I can approve the requests which are coming to me when I am approval, and who is going to define the approval, that also I'm going to show you. So that's what we can do here, and then we can review the access also, that these roles are assigned to which user and what is the and date of that. What help we will get from this access is, we have 10 users, let's say, working on a project, and now out of 10, 2 users move to another project, but still the permissions which we have given to them is with them. We haven't revoked it because that is in the active stage. It's not expired till now. I can review the access which I have given to the user, and based on the role assigned, I can revoke or I can assign the access for a longer period of time. That also I can check from this particular portal. So that is what we can do to assign the roles. Now I want to work on certain roles. So let me open the role page again. And let us modify the role, assign the approver also for that role. So let's take the application administrator, and I'm going to work on the role settings. Now wanted to explain you that what all things we can add it with this role. So we can first, we can work on the activation part. We can also work on the assignment and then the notification. So these are the three important aspects which we have to see for a specific role. So in the activation, if you see, the duration is giving because we discussed about just in time. So the duration will start with 30 minutes. So 30 minutes to 24 hours. This is the limit which you can give to any role. This can be activated for this particular period of time. It is always recommended to have a small activation period because we want to stop the lateral movement if your account is hacked or your access is breached. So in that case, we should be taking care of that. Minimum 0.5 to 24 hours, that we need to see. Now, if you see over here, 3 pointers are given. We do not need anything if you are activating. I need a MFA. So I have to activate MFA. If any user is trying to activate this role, they have to come through MFA, or I can design a cap policy also for this particular thing. Now I want you to focus one more pointer over here. When you are activating or when a user is activating, we need a justification on activation. Why you want to activate this role, or if you have a ticketing system in your environment, you need a ticket information also for the activation. And again, I want to have a approver for this particular role. I can select the approval also. If there is no approver is selected, then role administrator or global administrator will have access to the approving to the so let me give approver to the administrator only. So this is what I have defined. When somebody is activating the role, what all things I need. Sorry. So I need a justification, I need a ticket information, and here I'm keeping it as a none just to respect the time which is given to me. The next part is assignment. So I want to have a permanent assignment, or I can have a permanent active assignment. So it is always recommended you should not go for permanent active assignment. Eligible you can give. You can say that for this period of time, the user is eligible for this particular role. Activation, you should always give certain details and the less number of period that this will be activation period, that 15 days is the maximum time. Again, you need a MFA or you need a justification on the active assignment. So that also you can define over here. And for every activation, you need a approval that also should be checked. That is also come as a best practice. When you are working on the privilege role, you should be having that assigned. Now, the next part is when you are talking about these privilege roles, which are having permissions which can give you access to the sensitive data or confidential information of the company, that case it is important when you are activating this role, that time you should be having the specific persons notified that this is activated and this user is going to access the information. So all those things you can manage from the notification page, and you can see we can send the notification when members are assigned as eligible to this role. We can send the notification when members are assigned as active to this role, and when eligible members activate this role. So these are the different kind of notifications we can customize and we can design. Who we need to be added in the email, that we can see critical emails only if we need, that time only we will be adding it. So that part also we can manage over here. So now I'm going to update this, and let us assign, I think I have already assigned it to Edel. So I have just come to the Edelweiss portal. So I have these assigned roles for me. I don't have any role which is activate right now. I can go to PIM and I can see if I can activate the role. So I'm eligible for certain role, you can see, which is coming application administrator, and this is assigned to me. I can activate this role. Now, whatever settings we have made in that role page, you can see over here. One more thing which I like on this platform is we have so much of flexibility. I'm assigning or activating this role, but let's say I want to activate it for the future time purpose. So that also I can customize it over here. So that's what I like a lot. Validating request. Okay, on activation also I have put it over here. Let me go to BIM. So I can have the custom activation. I can give a ticket number. Let's say my company is managing this ticket system. I have to give this reason also why I want to activate this, and I'm going to send the request. And this is a scope which is coming with this role, that also I can check, and then I can send the activation request. So when this user is sending the activation request, I have approver with me who is going to approve the request for me. So you can see there are two tabs. One is for renew or extend the role assignment. Another one is request for role activation. So when I see this request which is coming to me, you can see what all things are coming. And this is important when you are approving the role request. I'm getting the role details. Sure, Kunal, thank you for informing. So we have a requester who is user. The request time is given, resources which can be accessed, the role type, and I can also see, sorry, I've just pressed the back button. Just 1 minute. So when I'm approving it, because I have set up as a role that I need a justification, I can add the justification, and for all these options, you will be having the details which are given to you. You can review the details and then you can approve this request. Once we approve, then only the user will be able to get the access to these roles. So this user is eligible, and now this user is also having an active role which is assigned to this, right? So that's how we can manage the privileged roles which are coming, and we can also check the access which we are giving. Any kind of pending request as a user, if I see, I can also chase it and I can ask the approver to approve it. I can check the other request also which come to me as a approver, because I told you that the user are having multiple roles. They can work as a approver also, or they can work as a requester also. So that's how the entire privilege identity management works. And let me show you the audit part also. Whatever request we are giving, whatever access we are giving or approving or modifying, all the things which are coming over here, and then you can also check what all things you have assigned to the users, and based on that you can work on these things. So I hope this point is clear to all of you, and I have 2 minutes, and I've just finished it also on the time. And resources, as I told you, you can check on MS Learn, and you can just mention and you will get all the details related to Microsoft Intra Privilege Identity Management, which you can review, how you can deploy, what all things you can have under the management, what you can assign. You can create a group and you can assign this role to the group as well. Maybe we will cover in the next event which Kronal is going to keep. I can activate all these roles as your role like contributor, admin, these roles you can also have, reader role. So all these things you can review from this resource. Simply search for intra PIM. You will get the details over here, or I will be sharing this in the chat itself, the link of this page and the roles page also. So thank you all of you for your time, and I hope you got a good understanding of the topic, which is privilege identity management. Anything you have in your mind or you want to have a discussion, please feel free to connect with me on LinkedIn. Once again, thank you, Krunal, for keeping this marathon and amazing show. Uh, and best of
Thank
luck.
thank you so much, Abhilasha. It was tremendous session, and I personally learned a lot. So thank you so much for being a part of this India MCT marathon, right? And again, definitely will again continue working in upcoming events. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you.